नमः परमऋषिभ्यो नमः परमऋषिभ्यः। हरिः ओम। अन्तरायतिमिरोपशान्तये शान्तपावनमचिन्त्यवैभवम् तन्नरं वपुषि कुञ्जरं मुखे मन्महे किमपि तुन्दिलं महः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। हरिः ओम।
पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। पार्थसारथिरूपेण श्रावयित्वा शुभां गिरं पार्थस्यार्तिहरो देवः कृपामूर्तिः स पातु नः। सत्यव्रतं सत्यपरं त्रिसत्यं सत्यस्य योनिं निहितं च सत्ये सत्यस्य सत्यं मृतसत्यनेत्रं सत्यात्मकं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नाः।
Srimad Bhagavad Gita actually begins from second chapter, Sankhya Yoga. In the first chapter is Vishada Yoga, Arjuna Vishada. It's actually preparing the ground for Gita Upadesha. Although Arjuna's depression looks like a setback, It's actually the manifestation of grace. It is Lord Himself who has invoked that in Arjuna. When you are having a very successful career, you are successful, you are the most efficient person in your field of work. In between, in the middle of that work, suddenly you become depressed. A divine restlessness sets in. It looks like restlessness, but it is divine. It is coming from a very deep center. You feel restless, you are not able to work as you were working before. You see everything in a different light, in a different way. All these years Arjuna was fighting, winning many wars, many battles. But suddenly in Kurukshetra Bhumi, he wakes up to the horror that war creates. Vairagya comes to him. Without Vairagya, no Upadesha will go inside. Vairagyanna param sukhasya janakam pashyami vashyatmana. Shankaracharya says, although Vairagya outwardly looks like depression, but inwardly there will be a deep stream of peace. Some hitherto unknown center is unlocked. You saw yesterday how Arjuna was totally shattered. He said, I am not going to fight. Let them kill me, even then I will not fight. Hatopi san. He was ready to die. See, that is sannyasa. Somebody asked Swami Vivekananda, what is sannyasa? He said, love for death. All the suffering comes from this clinging to life. Trishna. You want to win. You want to be successful. You always wish to be in the first bench. As long as you wish to be in the first place in the world, you will be in the last seat in spiritual life. That is why when Srimad Bhagavatam begins, the only qualification that a bhakta should have is nirmatsarya, no competition. I am not here to compete with anyone. Nirmatsaranam satam vedyam. I don't want to compete with anyone. Then you will have shanti, peace. Here Arjuna says, all these days he was burning with anger towards Karna, and that anger is backed with jealousy also. He wanted to prove that he is more powerful than Karna. And on the other side, Karna was also equally like that. But here, Arjuna says, Lord, I don't want to fight. Because if we kill all these people, we will earn only adharma. All families will be destroyed. Dharma will be destroyed. Kula dharma will be destroyed. And above all, women will suffer. Manu says, if a man is spoiled, nothing great will happen. Only he will suffer. But if a lady in a house, if she is spoiled, the whole family, society will come down. A woman should be worshipped. She is a sacred thing to be worshipped. Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devataha. Where women are worshipped, they are considered as divine mother. Striya samastaha tava devi bhetaha, says Devi Mahatmya. So all women are divine mother, your own form. So they should be worshipped. If they are worshipped, all the devatas come there. Their sannidhana will be there. So here, Arjuna says, if women suffer, society will go. Society will be destroyed. I will be the cause for that. So I don't want to fight. Evam uktva Arjuna sankhe rathopastha upavishat. He just sat there. He expressed his heart to Lord. See, the simple way to transform your Vishada as spiritual experience is to have contact with the Lord. All your problems will, when turned towards God, it will become bhakti. See, unless you have some problem, you will not have bhakti. You are very happy, very pleasant. You took very good food, delicious food, and go to temple. Over. Kodali namaskaram. With that axe, just like that. You do a salute. No bhakti. Nothing comes from the heart. That is why Kunti prayed to Krishna, give me suffering so that I will call you. Vipadaha santunaha shashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yat syad apunar bhava darshanam. If I have to establish a contact with you, suffering is the only way. Na dukkam dukkhaya syat iti shruti matragihi. Suffering is not for suffering. Swami Ramatirtha said, each suffering when it comes, closely look at that suffering. You will see something written in it. If you closely observe, you will see that each suffering is a love letter from God. He wants you to come to Him. Not wasting your time in this world. So the only way, shortest way to reach Him is to make you suffer. In Bhagavatam, many places, Bhagavan himself says this. When Mahabali was tethered with Varuna Pasha, even Brahma came to Vishnu and said, Lord, why are you torturing that child? Dear Brahma, whomsoever I love, whomsoever I want to bless, this is the only way. Yam anugrinhatum ichchami tad visho vidhunomyaham. This is the only way. Chemotherapy to burn his ego, his arrogance. This is the only way. Whomever I want to bless, tasya vittam haramyaham. I will just loot his wealth. Make him a pauper. Then he will find that the real wealth is bhakti, is experience of God. Otherwise you will waste your life in the world. Money can spoil you. Name and fame can destroy you. Sometimes even health can spoil you. You cannot say healthy people are more happy. Sometimes Bhagavan gives ill health so that you will go to him. Narayana Bhattadri in Narayaniyam says, not in Narayaniyam, some other place, he says, He rogaha nanu yuyameva suhrdaha. Oh disease, you are my real friend. Without you, I would not have called Lord. I would have led a very mediocre life. When that disease came, when body got affected, then I came to know that this life is transient. It is meaningless to hold on to this. We have to find that eternal thing, the reality. We have to worship Lord, do bhakti to Him, hold on to His feet. So for that, when Bhagavan loves you, He wants you to go to Him. If you refuse to go to Him, the only way that you can forcefully take you to Him is by giving you beatings. In Tiruvachakam, Manikavachakar says, Adittu, akkaram mun thittriya atishayam ariyene. That great wonder, He gave me beatings after beatings. Adittu, and I screamed, wept. I was weeping with open mouth and He put a chocolate in my mouth. A sweet thing. What is it? Bhakti. I was forced to take that bhakti. So, sometimes Lord has to use force. Akramya atmani avasthitam. One place in Bhagavatam says, He just attacks you and goes inside. Akramya atmani avasthitam. So here, Krishna also was waiting. The great Lord of the universe was following Arjuna like he was a coward, but he was following Arjuna like a cow. And Arjuna failed to recognize. See, one great sage in Kerala, once he was going in a train. Somebody who was sitting near him saw something special in this person. Everybody was doing namaskar to him, something. Then after sometimes this person asked him, "Who are you?" Then this Swami asked him, "What do you feel?" He said, I am not able to recognize. That is why I am asking you. Even after seeing, if you are not able to recognize, how will you recognize if I say? That is Arjuna's problem. All these years, he was seeing Krishna. Krishna was with him day and night. Shayyasana, Atana, Sthana, Snana, Krida, Ashanadishu, Narmani, Udara, Ruchira, Smita, Shobhitani. He Partha, he Arjuna, Sakhe, Kurunandaneni. Sanjalpitani, Naradeva, Hridi Sprishani, Smartu Luthandi Hridayam Mama Madhavasya. That Madhava was with him, Narmani. He was joking. Sometimes he was very humorous. Udara Ruchirasmita Shobhitani, that large heart. When Krishna smiled, Gopikas, they said, one smile is enough for us to realize the self, they say. Prahasitam, Priya, Prema Vikshanam. Viharanam Chate, Dhyana Mangalam. When we see you walking, it gives us meditation. So Arjuna had all this punya, this great fortune. He saw Lord many years. Krishna was living with Arjuna, but Bhagavan was waiting. He was expecting that someday Arjuna will fall at his feet. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshantite jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Lord was waiting that the Arjuna will prostrate and ask, Lord, please give me Brahma Vidyam. Give me that knowledge of the self by which I will be free. But Arjuna was totally heedless. Once Arjuna became a sannyasi and went to Dwaraka. There also Krishna thought, at least now, temporarily he is a sannyasi. So at least now he will ask Krishna, tell me what should a sannyasi do? What is the knowledge of the self? Arjuna came to Krishna and said, Krishna, I want to ask something. Lord was excited. What, Arjuna? See, there is a girl there. Who is she? Krishna said, she is my sister, Subhadra. You want to take her? Take her. I will arrange everything. Wearing the ochre robe, he asked only that. So Lord was disappointed. He said, you take her. Later on I will use my cane. Spare the cane and spoil the child. So now you should be given a severe treatment, then only you will wake up. So that is the treatment. Perhaps the entire Kurukshetra war is to wake up Arjuna. He is to shake him up from that slumber. Prabudhyatam, prabudhyatam. So here, instead of waking up, Arjuna collapsed. He said, Lord, I will not fight. See, the disease is so severe that even seeing this destruction, he did not feel that there is a solution for this. You can be free of this samsara only by self-knowledge. He did not feel that. He simply thought he will escape. By not fighting, he will be doing good. He did not ask the ultimate good. Temporarily only he was taking a decision, and Lord knows many people have a doubt. Why Bhagavan forced Arjuna again to fight? Krishna did not force him. Krishna only removed his ignorance, he fought. It is like some CD player not working properly. You know that spool, gramophone. So once I saw that pin in that gramophone record, it got blocked. Then the gramophone plate was playing the same song. The first time I heard it, that was a very meaningful song. Again and again the same song. In Tamil, old Tamil song, Swapana Vaalvil Magizhundu Subramanya Swami Unai Marandhen. This was the song. Again and again the same song. And when I went there and saw what the problem is, the pin has got blocked. There was some portion was broken in that plate, that disc. So when it was kept in the next track, it did complete the song. So like that, in your life also you get blocked somewhere. See, all these animal species, nature itself makes you progress. When you come to human body, this is the thing. Swapana Vaalvil Magizhundu Subramanya Swami Unai Marandhen. Deluded by this dream-like life, you forget the Lord, get blocked there. So Arjuna's disease was so severe that he said, Lord, I will not fight. He sat there, gave up his dharma, he sat in the chariot. Then Dhritarashtra had some hope. Dhritarashtra had some hope. He was expecting Arjuna to retire, give a VRS, take a VRS. But here, Sanjaya says what happened. That is the next chapter. It is Sankhya Yoga. The first chapter is Vishada Yoga. Vishada becomes yoga when you have right time you get satsanga. When you have Vishada, that very moment, if you have to get satsanga, that much punya you should have. You know, the punya, what it will do, it is like a car which brings you to Shankaramata. This punya takes you to the threshold and leaves you there. The punya does one thing. When you suffer that very moment, Lord comes there. Bhishma was about to leave his body lying on that bed of arrows. At that moment, Lord goes there. Krishna was standing before Bhishma. Bhishma said, all my tapas became fruitful. When I am ready to leave the body, Lord, you are standing before me. Now I have only one prayer. You should not stand outside. Stand in my meditation. Dhyana pathe. You should not simply stand outside, because if I close my eyes, I will forget you. So you go within. Appear in my heart. Then Bhishma left the body, meditating on the Lord. So this, how Lord appeared before Bhishma, Bhishma says, before I did so much tapas, and that tapas brought the Lord at the right opportune moment. Like that, Arjuna also had did many tapas, so much tapas, that at the right moment, during Vishada, he got satsanga. Otherwise, Vishada will take you to suicide. That is the only door which will be opened. All rich people, famous people, celebrities, you just read their lives, they end committing suicide. Many of them. Why? Because this celebration will not give you happiness. Fame will not give you completion. Lakhs of people come and praise you. One stomach pain is enough to give you trouble. Their praise will not give you that relief from that stomach pain. These are all illusion, useless things. If you have not got satsanga, that is why Bhagavatam gives so much importance to satsanga. When Lord appeared before Prithu and asked what boon you want, Prithu Maharaja said, Lord, I don't want any boon. Please don't tempt me with boons. Because human being is a creature made of desires. If you appear before them and make them ask boons, desire only will increase. I don't want to get any boons. I want only your blessing that I will get constant satsanga. And when jnanis, realized beings, enlightened beings speak, Mahattam antarhridayat mukhachyutaha. Whatever they feel in their heart, when it comes through their mouth, I should listen with my whole being. Each and every cell in my body should be a listening instrument. It should be an ear. Every bit of my body should become an ear. So with my whole body, I should be listening to Lord's stories, Nama Sankirtana, the glory of the Lord, and ultimately that Brahma Vidya by which I will be free. So Lord gave him blessing. Next moment, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara, all the great sages made a visit. They said, Prithu, we have come to teach you. And they had a satsanga. So, this is God's blessing. God's blessing is not getting a job and having a lot of money, getting your girl married. These are all secondary things. But ultimate good is Vairagya. When he wants to bless, first he gives Vairagya. And when Vairagya comes, then slowly Lord compels you to to ask for Brahma Vidya. You have to ask. See, here Arjuna will be forced. Even when Arjuna said, I will not fight, directly Krishna did not teach. You see what happened. Next chapter is Sankhya Yoga. We have to see what Sankhya is. Sankhya means jnana. There is a Sankhya Darshanam. That is different. But in Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya Yoga is nothing but Jnana Yoga. So here, Sanjaya says, Sanjaya Uvacha. From here, you have to cooperate. You also have to chant. Sanjaya Uvacha Tam tatha kripaya vishtam
Tam tatha kripaya vishtam
Ashrupurna kulekshanam
Ashrupurna kulekshanam
Vishidantamidam vakyam
Vishidantamidam vakyam
Uvacha Madhusudanaha
Uvacha Madhusudanaha.
Sanjaya said, Tam tatha kripaya vishtam. This Arjuna was full of kripa. Kripa actually means grace. But here it means overwhelmed with pity and sorrowing. He was full of pity. Ashrupurna Kulekshanam, such a great warrior who has never cried in his life, his eyes were full of tears. And his eyes, Akulekshanam, or were all discolored, were dimmed with tears. To him, Vishidantam, he was in Vishada, he was in depression, he was in sorrow. Uvacha Madhusudana. Madhusudana, one who killed Madhu. See, many people, they name their son as Madhusudana and call Madhu. Krishna got that name Madhusudana because he killed the Asura called Madhu. And you name your son Madhusudana, and if you call him Madhu, perhaps that is the right name for him. Who knows? So Madhusudana spoke. See, this Madhu and Kaitapa, two Rakshasas, Asuras. Evil is created from any place. Vishnu was having Yoga Nidra and he woke up and just put his finger in his ears and did like this. Two Asuras appeared. And they came before Lord and said, fight with us. He had a great problem fighting with them. That in this way, this Devi Mahatmyam begins. Madhu and Kaitapa. There ultimately Lord kills them. So he got the name Madhusudana, Kaitabhari. So that Madhusudana, Krishna, Madhu is Tamoguna. Here Lord Krishna's name was given as Madhusudana because he is going to destroy Arjuna's Tamoguna. Sometimes Tamoguna also looks like Sattvaguna. Certain people, when they listen to Vedanta, they say, now we want to be quiet. Not working, not doing anything, whole day sleep. That also looks very sweet person. Very calm, harmless. Because to harm he has to wake up. He never wakes up. Always snoring. And if such a person comes to listen Vedanta, what will happen? One old man came. His grandson brought him to Satsanga. He said, I want to sit in the front seat. And he came and sat and started sleeping. This Bhagavata who was talking, and could not speak because sleep is a contagious disease. One person starts sleeping, it spreads. So this Bhagavata, after that, somehow he finished that day's lecture, Govindanama Sankirtanam, then he called that boy. He said, tomorrow don't bring your grandfather, or if you bring, make him sit in the last bench. Why should he come and sit in the front bench? And make me also asleep. That grandson said, I don't know. My grandfather, Tata, insists that he should sit in the front bench. Then do me one favor. Whenever your Tata goes to sleep, he has a walking stick, shake it. Wake him up. That boy is Valanjavittu. That boy said, what will you give? Dakshina from Bhagavata. This Bhagavata said, I will give you 1 rupee. So next day it worked. That grandfather came, sat, started sleeping. This boy will shake the walking stick and he will wake up. Grandfather was so angry with this grandson that constantly is disturbing. But that boy got 1 rupee that day. Next day again he brought the old man in the front, made him sit there, and he was not shaking the walking stick. And the old man was sleeping. This Bhagavata in between was asking in action. He said, no. Why? No answer. After the talk he called, I was giving you 1 rupee, why you were not doing? My Tata told I will give you 2 rupees. Allow me to sleep. See, this is, will you be able to listen? Tamoguna can completely clog your head, cloud your vision. Nothing will go to the heart. So here, Madhusudana, what is there in his hand? That cane, Vetrapani, it is made of cane. Vetra means cane. Shavukku, Krishna vechinirukkirathu cane, mungil. With that cane, he is going to, I told you, no, spare the cane and spoil the child. Now he is going to use that cane on Arjuna. Arjuna sat with sorrowful face which was unbecoming to him. Lord said, let us see how he woke him up. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Kutastva Kashmalamidam
Kutastva Kashmalamidam
Vishame Samupasthitam
Vishame Samupasthitam
Anarya Jushtam Aswargyam
Anarya Jushtam Aswargyam
Akirtikaram Arjuna
Akirtikaram Arjuna.
Hey Arjuna, in such a crisis, from where this faint-heartedness came to you, Kashmalam, this dejection came to you. Kashmalam, that word, it means Ajnana only. In Viveka Chudamani it is there. Anatma Chintanam Tektva Kashmalam Dukha Karanam Chintaya Atmanam Ananda Rupam Yan Mukti Karanam. So Kashmalam means constantly allowing the mind to go and recollect non-self, objects, which is not truth. Involving yourself with falsehood is Kashmalam. So here Lord says, you become so faint-hearted in this right moment? In such a crisis, whence comes upon thee, O Arjuna, this dejection? Anarya Jushtam, it is unlike an Arya. This Arya, that is one word which is being corrupted by historians. They think Arya means a racial name. There is almost 36 times this name is repeated in Rig Veda, and not even in a single place it means a race. Arya means a noble person, one who comes in the Vedic tradition. One who comes in the samskaras, with all samskaras. He is Arya. So Bhagavan here says, you are an Arya, a noble person, and now you behave like this, like an adharmi. See, Dravida is a race. Saraswata is a race. Kampilya is a race. Maithila is a race. These are all Panchadravidas and Panchagaudas. Gauda is also a race. Gauda, Saraswata, Kampilya. These are all racial names in Bharata. In Bharata Khanda, in Bharata Varsha, there are Panchagaudas and Panchasaraswatas. Pancha Saraswatas and Panchagaudas, Dravidas. But no Arya. Arya is, the whole nation is Aryavarta. The whole range between Himalayas and Kanyakumari is called Aryavarta. So here Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, you behave unlike an Arya. You are a noble person. Why should you be dejected at such a crisis when everyone is looking at you with so much expectation? It is disgraceful and contrary to the attainment Aswargyam. Either you will, if you die, you will go to heaven, Swarga. Or if you fight, you will win. Now by giving up, you will lose both. Anarya Jushtam Aswargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. This is the first beating. And the second one is more powerful. Especially for Arjuna, who was very proud about his manliness. Lord calls him a name, gives him a name, which almost shook Arjuna to his roots. Swami Vivekananda, he says, these two slokas contains the entire teaching of Gita, because it tells you that you are not what you take yourself to be. And especially the India at that time, when he was speaking. So here, in the next verse, you see, Klaibyam asmagamav partha
Klaibyam asmagamav partha
Naitattvayupapadyate
Naitattvayupapadyate
Kshudram hridaya daurbalyam
Kshudram hridaya daurbalyam
Tyaktvottishta parantapa
Tyaktvottishta parantapa.
Uttishta parantapa. The entire Upanishadic teaching is there. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran, Nibodhata. Shurasya dhara, Nishita, Duratteya, Durgambathastat kavayo vadanti. Arise, awake. Approach great sages and know the truth from them. This path of spiritual knowledge is like walking on a razor's edge. So Uttishtata, you see what Lord is calling Arjuna. He says, you behave like neither a man nor a woman. Klibam means aanumilla ponnumilla. Neither a man nor a woman. Yield not to unmanliness, O son of Pritha. That Kunti. She is so brave and you behave like Brihannala, that Napumsaka. You long back you wore that dress. You lived in the palace of Virata as Brihannala. Now you are Arjuna. Why are you at that time you were much braver, courageous. You fought with all these people and now you behave like Brihannala. What happened to you, Arjuna? Klaipyam asmagamaha. Don't be unmanly. This does not fit you. Naitatvayu papadyade. Chudram hridaya daurbalyam. This weakness of your heart, this faint-heartedness, it is chudram, it is pitiable. It is mean. O scorcher of thy enemies, Parantapa, one who burns his enemies, one who is ready to, one who singularly fought and won many wars. So Arjuna, you should not be like this. These two shlokas Vivekananda prescribed for India before freedom. At that time, everyone was sleeping. Anyone can come and rule this country. We just walk in with 30 people and rule. Nobody was there to fight. Athithi Devo Bhava, they all welcomed, received with bhakti, fell flat and walked over. Many came and walked over. Then this was the sloka prescribed. Wake up. Don't be unmanly. This is not sattva-guna. This is tamo-guna. So, Bhagavan said to Arjuna, you think that this is sattva-guna. This is not sattva-guna. You are hiding behind your tamo-guna. Wake up. Then Arjuna argues. This is the last argument. This is his last argument with the Lord. You see, we will quickly go to the teaching. Arjuna uvacha.
Arjuna uvacha.
Katham bhishmamaham sankhye.
Katham bhishmamaham sankhye.
Dronam cha madhusudana.
Dronam cha madhusudana.
Ishubhih pratiyotsyami.
Ishubhih pratiyotsyami.
Pujarha varisudana.
Pujarha varisudana.
Hey Madhusudana, hey Arisudana, two names for Krishna. One is Madhusudana. You killed Madhu because he was an Asura. You killed many of your enemies. Ari means enemy. There also you were justified. But how will I kill Bhishma and Drona? They are worshipful ones. I should be worshipping them. I should be doing puja to them. I should be offering flowers to them. How can I offer arrows? This is sinful. How will I do that? When they fight with me, how can I fight back? Pratiyotsyami katham. And next verse again, Arjuna's reasoning comes. Why he should not fight. See, Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan.
Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan.
Shreyo bhoktum bhaikshyamapi haloke.
Shreyo bhoktum bhaikshyamapi haloke.
Hatvartha kamamstu guru nihaiva.
Hatvartha kamamstu guru nihaiva.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudhira pradigdhan.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudhira pradigdhan.
Arjuna says, even if I have to beg, that will be far better than killing my gurus. He's opening his heart. Gurun ahatva, without killing my masters, my gurus, Mahanubhavan, they are not ordinary gurus. They are great beings, they are Mahapurushas, they are standing before me. If I kill them, I will only accrue sin. For Shreyas, I should not kill them. I should not fight with them. By killing my gurus, I will only consume whatever pleasure I get, it will be mixed with their blood. It will be sinful. So I don't want to fight, but if I kill them, even in this world, all my enjoyment of wealth and desires will be stained with blood. So don't force me, O Lord, to kill them. Krishna just smiled. He did not answer. There was a beautiful smile in the face of Lord. In Bhagavatam, in Ekadasha Skanda, Ishad Smita Shobhanananaha. A little smile, a small smile. It just opens the heart of the devotee. So Bhagavan just smiled, and Arjuna again continues. When he looked at Lord's face, one side he was blabbering, on the other side his discrimination was telling him, questioning him whether he was blabbering before Lord. So next verse he begins, I don't know whether I am saying the right thing. Nachaitad vidmah kadaranno gariyo.
Nachaitad vidmah kadaranno gariyo.
Yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu.
Yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu.
Yaneva hatvana jijivishamaha.
Yaneva hatvana jijivishamaha.
Te avasthitaha pramukhe dhartarashtraha.
Te avasthitaha pramukhe dhartarashtraha.
And indeed, I can scarcely tell which will be better, whether we should conquer them or that they should conquer us. Confusion. The very sons of Dhartarashtra, after slaying whom we should not care to live, stand before us. These people, if we kill them, what will be the meaning in our living? I don't know, Lord, whether I am saying the truth. He is not sure. If Krishna allows him to take Bhikshapatra now, he will take and Bhikshapatra and go. After 1 hour, he will come back with Gandiva. Because the Lord knows that you cannot give up your swabhava, your nature. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddhasvena karmana. You are bound by your nature, O Arjuna. You can simply by depression or by some calamity for temporarily you will think that you can go beyond your nature. But ultimately your nature will assert. So here Arjuna again is prattling something. And slowly a recognition came. Lord is not at all speaking. Krishna is not speaking. Arjuna himself recognizes. When a madman talks, you cannot interrupt. You have to allow him to talk. After some time, he will slowly become quiet. Here Arjuna also is in the same condition. Slowly he feels he is prattling meaningless things. Slowly perhaps I feel he should have seen that the person who is sitting before him, the blue person, the blue friend, the blue relative, he is the infinite space itself. He is His blue color shows that he is not this body. Akasha Shariram Brahma Satyatma Pranaramam Mana Anandam. Slowly a recognition came to Arjuna that the Lord who is sitting, the person who is sitting before him is not an ordinary person. His friend Krishna no more is Krishna. He was through him, like you can see the infinite space through a bubble, so too Arjuna could see through that form that universal master, that Jagat Guru. So in the next verse, Arjuna says, Lord, I am affected by a dire disease, ignorance. Karpanyadoshopahatha svabhavaha.
Karpanyadoshopahatha svabhavaha.
Pritchami tvam dharma sammudhacheta.
Pritchami tvam dharma sammudhacheta.
Yat shreyasyan nishitam bruhi tanme.
Yat shreyasyan nishitam bruhi tanme.
Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam.
Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam.
This is the starting point of Gita. Here Arjuna says, Lord, Karpanya dosha upahata swabhavaha. My nature is overpowered and by the taint of Karpanya dosha. Kripanasya bhavaha Karpanyam. Karpanyam generally it means miserliness. You have so much money with you, you don't spend anything. Neither you enjoy nor give it to others. You are a Kripana. Every jiva is a Kripana. There is an infinite treasure inside him. Without unlocking it, he is seeking petty things from outside. So every being is a Kripana. The Upanishad says, Etasmad lokahat etat satyam aviditva yaha praiti sakripanaha. One who dies without knowing this ultimate truth, without realizing the self, without experiencing Ishvara, he is a Kripana. Because this human body has so much potential. By rightly employing, using it, you can know that Ananta Vastu. But without using that body for that, simply doing some acrobatics in this world, useless thing you are doing, worthless thing, temporary joy, temporary pleasure, that is Kripana. Whatever you may achieve in this world, you are a Kripana. Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami has written a verse. Sarvam vyartham marana samaye samba ekas sahaya. You might be having the power to fly in the sky. You might get all the gold medals in Olympics. Unlike Indians. See, our people go and come back sampuja. Because we are not born for that. This body here, in this nation, it is specially manufactured only for that higher purpose. You should use it for that. Instead of you go and imitate others. And even if you become successful, you will not be happy. One person who was earning crores, million, somewhere in States, he said, I have so much money, I cannot use it. I cannot enjoy so much. With all that money, I have no sleep. Some constant dream is haunting me. I don't know its meaning. He told me, I am having a constant dream of my grandfather sitting in our village temple and doing Gayatri Japam. This dream is constantly haunting me. I said, you have seen that? How peaceful they were, how happy they were, how contented they were. You left everything and went there for money, for wealth. And now the inner Lord is giving you intimation. You might be calling yourself a successful person, but the inner being is telling you, you fool, you fool, you fool. This is his language. He is showing you some picture by which you have to recognize that you are a fool. Go back, own the tradition which you left. What are you going to do with so much money? A person who wastes his life in this way is a kripana. One day, two persons were going through a forest. They were carrying much gold in a bag. In the middle of the forest, they fought. Each of them had a dagger. One person killed the other person. He also stabbed this person. Both of them died. Two monkeys were sitting in a nearby branch. The small monkey, it asked the mother monkey why they were fighting. The mother monkey said, for many days I lived in a city. I know these human beings, they are very foolish. You know why they fought? They fought for that glittering thing. They call it gold. For that they fought. Then this little monkey, it came down from the tree, took some gold and tried to eat it. And it is not eatable. No taste, nothing. Why they fought for this useless thing? Then the big monkey said, after all, they are human beings, you know. They have only that much wisdom. They are not animals. They are not intelligent creatures like us. For all useless things they fight. Great wars have occurred for a piece of paper, stamped, you know. In the name of a stamp, two countries fought. Who will do that? If you tell this to some animal, if you can communicate, that animal will not even understand. So such foolishness is called karpanya dosha. Wasting your life in useless, worthless things and ultimately at the end weeping. When you are about to die, then you know that whatever you did in your life is useless. Bhishma tells this to Yudhishthira. In his bed of arrows, he calls Dharmaputra and tells him, my dear child, don't commit the mistake that I committed. You have already walked long distance in this blunder. See, I will tell you one story. This is there in Moksha Parva. Bhishma tells a story to Yudhishthira. He tells him, there was once a businessman, a Vaishya. His name was Monkey. It's not English monkey. His name was Monkey. In Sanskrit, his name was Monkey. This is Monkey Gita. And that monkey had a big bullock cart. In that bullock cart, he was carrying lot of business goods like rice, wheat, vegetables, many things, grains, other grains also. And he was driving this bullock cart. At that time, he was contemplating, he was thinking, by doing business of these things, I will earn lot of money. And with that money, I will become a chieftain in the village, a big leader. Then slowly I will have my own small army With that army, I will conquer the nearby places, and ultimately I will assist the Chakravarti, and one day I will also become a Chakravarti. All these imaginations with only one bullock cart and some rice, wheat, vegetables. This is his property. With this, he has already reached that height of becoming an emperor. He was driving the bullock cart. On the way was lying a big
Camel.
Ushtra. And that camel, it has something like a hump. And the hump on the Shivalinga Madre, like a big Shivalinga, that hump. So there, this bullock cart, that wooden thing which is kept in the neck of bull, it got locked. And that camel stood up. That big camel stood up, and both the bulls were just hanging on both sides. With the bulls, this camel dragged the bullock cart everywhere. All the goods were lost. This monkey also fell down. The bullock cart broke. Bulls died. And camel left that bullock cart and went away. Seeing this monkey, instead of weeping, he smiled. And he said, "Now I know that destiny is very powerful. I was aware only about this bullock cart and bulls which I was owning. I was not aware of the camel. Everyone can be confident till the camel stands up. In everyone's life, today or tomorrow, once this camel will suddenly stand up, collapsing your life, adrishta. So as long as you have not met this camel, you can be very confident. Camel will come in many forms. We don't know in what form the camel will appear. Camel is a symbol of destiny. So, giving this katha, Bhishma tells Yudhishthira, you know who is this monkey? Hey Dharmaputra, I am that monkey. I renounced my worldly life, but instead of going to forest and doing tapas, I got two bulls, Vichitra Virya and Chitrangada. With those bulls, I was driving the bullock cart. Suddenly the camel stood up. One person died. Chitrangada died. Then Vichitra Virya was alone alive. For him I brought three ladies from Kashi. Amba, Ambika, Ambalika. There also I failed. One of them with terrible revenge in her, she went back and came before me in her next birth as Shikandi. She became cause for my death. There also I failed. Bhishma was just listing his failure. Like Duryodhana, all these 100 sons, everywhere I failed, O Yudhishthira. And here, this great warrior is lying in the dust, in the bed of arrows. This is life. So don't believe this outer success. Don't hunt for these illusory things of this world, O Dharmaputra, my dear child. Please listen to me. And Bhishma looked at Krishna. You see who is near you, you know? Eshavai Bhagavan Sakshad Adyo Narayana Puman Mohayan Mayaya Lokam Gudhasarati Vrishnishu. The person whom you think as your friend, your minister, your messenger, your counselor, your charioteer, he is the Lord himself. Without asking him, you have come to me to ask. But see his compassion. With that Vyaja, he has come before me to give me darshan. Do you think that he brought you here so that I will teach you? No, he came here to give me darshan. Now I can peacefully give up this body. So here Bhishma tells Dharmaputra, be wise, my dear child. Don't be deluded by this worldly dharma. There is nothing to achieve in this world. The only thing that you have to attain is to have realization of God. Ko dharma sarva dharmanam bhavatah paramo matah kim jaban muchyate jantuhu janma samsara bandhanat. Know that by which you will be free of this birth and death, this cycle of suffering. Only ask me that. Saying this, Bhishma gave a long lecture teaching Dharmaputra about Brahma Vidyam. All that you see in Bhagavatam, that Ekadasha Skandam is there in Mahabharata, in Moksha Parva. So, Arjuna here says, Lord, I know now that I am a Kripana, wasting my life. I do not know that truth by knowing which everything else is known. Eka vijnanena sarva vijnanam. I do not know that. And my real nature, whatever the Upanishad says, I do not know that. Karpanyatosha upahata svabhavaha. Prichami tvam dharmasam mudhachetaha. I am a fool. Mudhacheta. My understanding, my wisdom, my discrimination, my intelligence is clouded. Now I am asking you, O Lord, please tell me what is really beneficial to me. Yad shreyaha syat nishitam. That which is certainly good for me. The ultimate good. Please give me that, O Lord. I am your disciple. This is the right muhurta. Shishyaha teham. I am your shishya. Unconditionally I am surrendering to you. Shadhimam tvam prapannam. Prapatti means unconditional surrender. No condition. Somebody told Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi that there is so much sorrow in life. Bhagavan said, surrender. Then that devotee said, I have already surrendered, but still sorrow is not going. Then Bhagavan said, is this surrender? If a person surrenders, all desires, everything is also surrendered. Then you cannot compel Lord. The surrender means you become totally desireless. Here Arjuna says, Lord, I surrender to you, I am your disciple. Now you own me. I belong to you. Sadhimam. Discipline me. Shishya means one who, it is not simply a student. You cannot translate Shishya as student. Shishya means Shikshana Vidheya. One who allows the master to discipline him. He will not even ask the teacher to teach. When Ekanatha Swami lived for 12 years with his Guru, Guru was not at all teaching him. He was teaching other students, but deliberately he was leaving Ekanath, not teaching him. He was only given some work in the Gurukula. He will do all cleaning work, everything. And one day, whole night that devotee was awake. Night about 11 o'clock, Guru, Janardana Swami was his Guru. He came and asked Ekanath, what are you doing? Ekanath said, Master, I am seeing the account of our Gurukulam. Some 1 paise is missing. Some small amount is missing. Then Janardana Swami said, my dear child, don't spoil your health, go and sleep. Leave that. It's an insignificant thing. Then, after 1 hour, again Guru came and looked. Eknath was again minutely watching where he missed. Again, Guru Janardana Swami told, don't bother, you will spoil your health. See, already it is midnight, go and sleep. Eknath said, please master, this is my bhakti, this is my seva, this is my aradhana. By the time already it became dawn, Guru heard Eknath's excitement. He was screaming with excitement, I have found, I have found. Guru asked, what have you found? That 1 paise, which he missed. My dear boy, you jump as if you got God realization. Eknath said, it is same to me, master. I am doing your seva, it is not for me. So even that single thing is a great thing for me. Then that Guru felt he owes much to that disciple. He should do something to Eknath. So that day, when Janardana Swami was doing his Anushtana in Godavari river, his Ishtadevata was Dattatreya. Dattatreya appeared in his heart, and Janardana Swami inwardly invoked Dattatreya and told him, please give vision to my dear disciple Eknath. And Janardana Swami came back. Eknath went to Godavari. After 1 hour, Janardana Swami was waiting for Eknath. He was expecting Eknath to be inebriated, intoxicated with that vision. Because to have the vision of the Lord means you should be in such ecstasy. So Guru was expecting that. He was expecting Eknath to be in that state, in that mood. But at the right time, he saw Eknath returning to the Gurukula with a big pot of water from Godavari. No sign of any spiritual experience. There was no vision of any emotion or any spiritual mood. Very ordinarily he came, kept the water in fire, started cooking, cleaning, arranging for the puja, everything. This Guru, Janardana Swami, was observing Eknath, and ultimately he called, Eknath, I want to ask you something. Tell me, master. When you went to Godavari, what was your experience? Nothing special. Then deliberately, master asked him, did you had any vision of the Lord? He said, yes. What yes? I had the vision of Dattatreya. I said, my dear boy, you speak as if you saw some ordinary person in the street. You know you had the greatest vision that everyone is thirsting for, and even after getting that vision, you are not at all moved. What did you do after that vision? What can I do? I have so much work here. So I just came. Then Eknath said, Master, did I ever ask any favor from you? Did I ever ask you to have any vision, to bestow any vision to me, any spiritual experience to me? If I want to see some divine form, I am seeing you. That is enough for me. Otherwise, you are there within me as my own self. I never lose that experience. Then that great master told Eknath that you are a jnani. You are a Purna Purusha. Otherwise no one can resist the vision of the Lord. You are a Purna Purusham. I bless you, Ekanath, that you will be a great sage. And with that master's blessing, Ekanath, you know, in Maharashtra Sant group, he is one of the greatest. That Ekanathi Bhagavat is the Pramana Grantha. So here, he was one of the greatest examples for Shishya. Complete surrender to the Guru. And what kind of Shishya he was? In all his songs, abhangs, you will see the mudra as Eka Janardani. That Janardana Swami is his mudra. His master is his mudra. And one day, he was speaking on Bhagavatam. Suddenly, one person came with a message. You know what that message was? The message was that his Guru Janardana Swami died. Ekanath did not even care to listen to that. He continued speaking on Bhagavatam. Devotees were shocked because they have not seen such a great Guru Bhakta. And here comes a message that his Guru died and he was not at all moved. He is continuing his Bhagavatam. After that Bhagavata Pravachanam, devotees went to him and asked, Maharaj, we have seen how much you are devoted to your Guru, and now the message comes that your Guru passed away and you are not at all shaken. Ekanath said, my dear children, is this what you have learned? A Guru who dies and a disciple who weeps for that. That Guru is neither Guru, that disciple is nor disciple. Because the Guru can never die. Guru is that supreme Tattva. He is my own self. How can he die? When I am alive, how can he die? He is within me as my own being, my own self. He is the deathless principle. So, that is a Shishya. Shiksha Videya. Shishyaha Teham. O Lord, I am your disciple. Shadhimam. Discipline me. Put me in order. Give me that knowledge by which my life will be fruitful, complete, whole. With my nature overpowered by weak mindedness, with a mind in confusion about duty, I supplicate to thee. Say decidedly what is good for me. I am your disciple. Instruct me who have taken refuge in thee. O Lord, give me that supreme vidya by which I will be free. Next verse. Nahi prapashyami mama panudyad.
Nahi prapashyami mama panudyad.
Yachokam indriyanam.
Yachokam indriyanam.
Avapya bhumau asapatnam riddham.
Avapya bhumau asapatnam riddham.
Rajyam suranam apichadhipatyam.
Rajyam suranam apichadhipatyam.
I do not see anything to remove this sorrow which blasts my senses. Even were I to obtain unrivaled and flourishing dominion over the earth and mastery over the gods. Nahi prapashyami mama apanudyad yaha shokam. This shokam. He is standing before Lord. Again he goes to his mind. Last verse he surrendered. In this verse he says, I don't see anyone who will rescue me from this sorrow. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad yaha shokam. This sorrow which is completely draining me out. All my senses are becoming weak. Uchoshanam indriyanam. Even if I get the lordship of the entire earth, or even gods, I don't want. This you can say in Shoka also, in Bhakti also you can, in Anubhuti also you can say. There was one great saint in Tiruvannamalai, He said, even if I get the lordship of Devas, or even if I become a big emperor in this earth, I don't want. Mannada pettinidum vendeen, Vanavarallam paniya, Vinnada petridinum vendeen. I don't even want to become the king of gods. Kannalanam Shonagiri Pitanar Sannadike, Pichayundu Vara Perin. I will prefer leading a beggar's life in Arunachala. Becoming a beggar there is far better than becoming a king of gods or an emperor. So that is another way of putting it. But here Arjuna is telling not out of fulfillment. He says, all worthless, useless. What is the use of becoming a king? See, all these great Mughal emperors, what happened to them? Each one ended their life in jail, prison. Because the son was waiting for so many years, father is not dying. How much more years I will wait? He put father in jail and became king. This is the story of all the Mughal kings. So one side you have so much power, on the other side you are afraid. Aurangzeb, very powerful person, but somehow he got the belief that this Shivaji is having miraculous powers. It was only somebody gave him that idea, because when he put Shivaji in jail, Shivaji sat into that basket and escaped. But Aurangzeb did not get the information how Shivaji escaped. Some Muslim people told him that this person is having some occult powers. Some people say he is flying. And you know, this Aurangzeb had 2 soldiers in his toilet. Because Shivaji can come through the window. So it was so much of flight. So, big king, Shivaji was after all an insignificant ruler at that time. He was so powerful, but still he could not peacefully go to toilet. What kind of happiness you will have by becoming a ruler or becoming a rich person, wealthy person, if you are not happy, if you are not fearless? So Arjuna says, Lord, I don't want all these foolish nonsense things. I don't want anything saying this. Wow. What happened to Arjuna? Sanjaya says, Sanjaya Uvacha.
Sanjaya Uvacha.
Eva Muktva Rishikesham.
Eva Muktva Rishikesham.
Gudakeshah Parantapah.
Gudakeshah Parantapah.
Nayotsya iti Govindam.
Nayotsya iti Govindam.
Uktva Tushnim Babhuvaha.
Uktva Tushnim Babhuvaha.
Eva Muktva. After saying this, to whom? Rishikesham, the Lord of all the senses, the Antaryami who is inside, who comes through the eyes and appears as form, who comes through the ears and appears as sound, who comes through the nose and appears as smell, who comes through the tongue and appears as taste, who comes through the skin and appears as touch. That inner being, that indweller, that Antaryami, he is Rishikesha. To that Rishikesha, this Gudakesha. Gudakesha means one who has conquered sleep. That Gudakesha, that Parantapa, that great warrior, told Krishna, I will not fight. Nayotse. Iti Govindam Uktva. That Govinda who even fought with Indra. That Govinda, to him, that Mahavakya Vastu. Govinda means Gobihi Mahavakyehi Vindate iti Govinda. Not only simply a coward, he is that Purul, that vastu, that implied meaning of Mahavakyas. He should be known through all the Mahavakyas of the Upanishads. So he is called as Govinda. To that Govinda, to that Rishikesha, this Gudakesha, the person who has conquered sleep, Tamoguna, said, I will not fight, declaring thus, he sat there silent. Tushnim means silent. Became quiet. Tushnim babuva, and Sanjaya expresses, ha. Oh Lord, something most unexpected has happened, which nobody expected. You could have expected Dharmaputra to give up fighting, but not Arjuna. You could have expected Yudhishthira to give up war, but who would have expected this great, brave person to withdraw from battlefield? So, ha, that one ha tells volumes. That one ha of Sanjaya, which says a great calamity has occurred. That Arjuna says, I will not fight, and sat there. Saying this, Krishna looked at him, smiled peacefully. Krishna was not alarmed. Vyavahita pritanamukham nirikshya swajanavadad vimukhasya dosha buddhyam kumatim aharad atma vidyaya charanaratihi paramasya tasya mestu. That Supreme Lord transmitted the Atma Vidya to Arjuna in that moment. Bhishma says, I should have devotion to his feet. So here, Krishna smiled, gave out a beautiful smile, and told Arjuna. What did he tell? Tamuvacha Rishikeshaha Prahasanniva Bharata Senayorubhayor madhye Vishidantamidam vachaha. In between that two Sainyas, army, Arjuna and Krishna are standing. They have actually taken the chariot to the middle portion. That is why nobody could listen what Krishna spoke. There was a distance between Pandu Sainya and Arjuna's chariot, and a distance between Arjuna's chariot and Kaurava Sainya also. So they are standing in the middle. There, Prahasanniva. Prahasan means, it also means joyfully smiling. It also means parihasam, making fun of him, teasing Arjuna. That smile, it was telling Arjuna that you are foolishly speaking something, useless things. On the other side, Lord's smile, it is not laughter. When Duryodhana declared, I will bind you, that was laughter, that attahasa. But here it was a beautiful smile which is filled with compassion. And that smile itself emanated a healing vibration. That smile of the Lord was like a healing tonic to Arjuna. Chandrika dhavala smitaha. One place, Bhagavatam says how that smile looks. It looks like Chandrika dhavala smitaha. It looks like silvery light of the moon. The cool silvery light of the moon. It pacified Arjuna's brain. Arjuna's brain for the time being became absolutely quiet. Mind became pacified. There was a stream of peace entering him. And then tamuvacha rishikeshaha prahasanniva bharata. Senayor bhayor madhye vishidantamidam vachaha. To that Arjuna, Lord spoke the highest wisdom. Now starts Bhagavad Gita. We will just chant that sloka and stop, and we will start from tomorrow. All these 4 days, we had only introduction for that Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. Only tomorrow we will enter Gita. That knowledge which Lord is imparting Arjuna starts tomorrow. So we will just read the verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Ashocyananvashocastvam.
Ashocyananvashocastvam.
Prajñavadamscha bhashase.
Prajñavadamscha bhashase.
Gatasu nagatasumscha.
Gatasu nagatasumscha.
Nanushocanti pandita.
Nanushocanti pandita.
From here, first verse, Bhagavan is giving the lakshana of a pandita. Pandita means we think scholar. According to Bhagavad Gita, pandita means sthita prajna. Pandita means a jnani. Pandita means a realized soul. Panda means atma jnana. One who is having panda is pandita. Atma vishayamatihi esham tehi panditaha. So, Bhagavan in the first verse says, a pandita, an intelligent person, one who knows the truth, never comes to grief. He will be always peaceful, whether amidst the battlefield or in the cremation ground or in a marriage hall, wherever he is placed. Tusharakarabimbacham manoyasya nirakulam marana utsava yuddheshu sashanta iti kathyate. Whether it is in the place of marana or in the place of utsava or in the battlefield, yuddheshu, his peace is undisturbed. And he has really got that experience of the self, that Brahmi sthiti. And such a person is transmitting this knowledge to a person like us, who is Arjuna. Shoka moha maho dadhau nimagnam Arjunam nimitti kritya upaditesha. So that Arjuna is the listener and Krishna is the teacher. And tomorrow we will see in the same time Bhagavad Gita. Phalavanamra kiridam
Phalanetrarchisha pancheshu kitam Shulahatarādikutam Shuddhamartendu chudam bhaje margabandhum Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Devesha Shambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva Ange Virajat Bhujangam Abhraganga Bhiramottamangam Omkaravati Kurangam Siddha Samsevitangrim Bhaje Margabandhum Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Devesha Shambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva Nityam Chidananda Rupam Ninnuta Shesha Lokesha Vairi Pratapam Kartaswaragendra Chapam Krittivasam Bhaje Divya Sanmarga Bandhum Shambho Mahadeva Deva शिव शम्भो महादेव देवेश शम्भो शम्भो महादेव देव दर्पदर्पघ्नमीशम् कालकण्ठम् महेशम् महाव्योमकेशम् कुन्दाबदन्तम् सुरेशम् कोटिसूर्यप्रकाशम् भजे मार्गबन्धुम् शम्भो महादेव देव शिव शम्भो महादेव देवेश शम्भो शम्भो महादेव देव मन्दारभूतेरुदारम् मन्थरागेन्द्रसारम् महाशौर्यदूरम् सिन्धूरदूरप्रचारम् सिन्धुराजातिधीरम् भजे मार्गबन्धुम् शम्भो महादेव देव शिव शम्भो महादेव देवेश शम्भो शम्भो महादेव देव
यतो ममात्मा भवसि त्वमेव ततो न वाच्यं मम किञ्चिदस्ति यथा तवेष्टं कुरु मां तथैव त्वाम् आत्मनाथं रमणं भज। अन्नपूर्णे सदापूर्णे शङ्करप्राणवल्लभे ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं भिक्षां देहि च पार्वती माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वरः बान्धवा शिवभक्ताश्च स्वदेशो भुवनत्रयम्।